Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said, "Come to me, all you who labor and are burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am meek and humble of heart, and you will find rest for yourselves. For my yoke is easy and my burden light." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Today we have a gospel that it is giving one of those good conditions. Sounds better here without that one? Yes. That it's giving us a very good way of knowing how to attract God to our lives. Because in a spiritual life, that also it's present. It is not only that God loves you. You also need to exercise yourself to go love God. And even life, it's giving you that lesson. For example, a couple, when they are in love, the lady gets all the perfume, gets ready, all the colors, right? All the good stuff, because she wants to be nice for him. Now, he also needs to do that. He needs to go and get the weekly shower, come a little bit, go get the perfume also, get well. Why? Because he also wants to meet the woman that he's interested in. So if you check human life, it's giving that lesson. But also in the relationship with God, that it's present. You cannot expect like, God loves me, God will always forgive me, God, it's so nice. And you, what is your part back to him? It cannot be like, he created me, he will forgive me of all, and good to go. No, there has to be something that you present back to the Lord. And the Lord in that gospel, it's telling what God likes. And it's telling, take my yoke. Why? Because it is light and it is easy on you. And also he says, learn from me, because I am meek and humble of heart. You see, the Lord is giving the two or more than two elements in that gospel that he likes. We could review that, for example, in the Mother of God. What happens with her? She is created without sin, and she becomes the Mother of God. But before God comes to us, he's asking to her, because he respects the free will. So the angel comes, would you like to be the Mother of God? And she's even given questions like, how's that going to happen? Because I'm a virgin and I'm going to stay like that. I did that promise to God. That was her questioning. And the angel does the explanation, and she goes to the answers of that gospel. Here is the humble slave of the Lord. Be done to me according to your word. So maybe we could ask, why God was attracted to come to Mary? Why? Because she was the Immaculate Conception? Who gave that to her? God. Because she was very beautiful? Who gave that to her? You see, so God was not coming for the gifts that she already had. He was coming because she was meek and humble of heart, and also with the condition of being sinless, Immaculate Conception. That's one specific condition of God, to have the flesh of humans. So Mary, it's giving that example, and we could move forward and move with more examples. You remember, for example, the last prophet of the Old Testament and the first prophet of the New Testament. What is his name? Exactly. Saint John the Baptist. He was telling in his experience, it is convenient that I disappear, so that God appears. What is that? That is to be humble. I cannot do it. It is God who will do it, you see? So the humble and being meek, it calls the action of God. For us, how is that going to work? Many times, because of our feelings, the way maybe we were raised, we are fighting against a little dragon that it's inside of us, right? So something happens to you and you feel the flame coming, right? And if you don't pay attention to that little flame, later you are going to do an action on that. So then you start telling the thing, because I'm so like this, and you start burning. It seems like a little dragon. So how are we going to practice humbleness? How are we invited to be meek when it seems so complicated? In a world that it's always like pushing you, even the family. It is like using a little bit of nails to check if you have air, right? It's right all the time like this. How are we going to handle that? Well, we have finally a gift from God that it helps to remember that. And it is the famous silence. The silence, it is one of those gifts that God is giving to us to have a little bit more of time to be able to react according to what God likes. So why silence? Why is that one of the ways to learn how to be meek and humble? Think like this. Temper, it comes from the word temperature. And what happens with the temperature? Temperature goes up and also goes down. So if you wait enough, what's going to happen? Cool down. It is just like when you see, not that I drink anything, because I don't drink anything, but it is like when you serve a beer. Have you seen? What happens? Foam up. If you wait, what happens with the foam? Down. So it is the same in here. The silence, it is helping you to exercise. Why? Because I don't have the tools right now to answer. I don't know what to say. I have the heat of the moment. So, come on. You see? I'm trying to be meek here. So we need to practice and allow the Lord to calm us down. Finally, I will say that it's a wonderful gospel. Maybe you could try tonight to review that again as a little homework, because it's a very good explanation of what God is expecting from us. I will say gospel from Matthew chapter 11. What is the exercise? Excellent.